Just look like a hippo, but that girl got booty. That girl got booty.
When the hardcore engineering announcements only ranked third on the opening list of innovations for the new Land Rover Discovery 5, you know the world has changed. And what, in Land Rover's own hierarchy, ranks above the engineering improvements for the all-new Disco, which include 480 kilograms weight reduction, 171 g/km CO2 emissions, a new 237 bhp version of the 2.0-liter Ingenium diesel with 369 pounds-foot, and class-leading 3.5-ton towing capability. Safety, fair enough, and the fact that you can now configure the 7-seater's interior with your iPhone. No, seriously. Other tech headlines include the option to add up to 9 USB ports, 4 12-volt charging points and an in-car 3G Wi-Fi hotspot for up to 8 devices. Apparently 4G was a step too far, while Land Rover claims each of the 7 seats will accommodate most full-size adults. But all is not lost, for Land Rover also promises the new Discovery will be more comfortable and versatile than ever. Read on for the full story. Land Rover Discover Sport 5, Engines and Tech Spec. Let's deal with the nitty-gritty first. The new Discovery is 4,970 mm long, 2,220 mm wide, including the mirrors, and 1,846 mm tall, that's 141 mm longer, but marginally narrower and lower than the vehicle it replaces. The 2,923 mm wheelbase is 38 mm longer than before, to the benefit of passenger room. The 480 kg weight saving comes from a new monocoque body construction that is 83% aluminium, some 43% of which comes from recycled sources. There's high-strength aluminium for the crash structure, while the entire body side, like that of the Jaguar F-Type, is pressed from a single aluminium sheet. This is great for reduced construction complexity and increased structural strength, but may prove interesting from a crash repair perspective. Other contributors to the overall reduction include less complex exhaust and driveline systems, more efficient seat design and, interestingly, revised wheel and tire sizes, presumably made possible by everything else. Even so, the Disco 5 still weighs upwards of 2115 kg. Engine choices for the new Discovery are as follows. 2.0-liter SD4 turbo diesel 4-cylinder 237 bhp, 369 pounds-foot, 8.3 SEC 0 to 62 miles per hour, 43.5 mpg, 171 g/km. This is a new engine for the new model, and the most powerful Ingenium diesel to date. 3.0-liter Td6 turbo diesel V6 254 bhp, 443 pounds-foot, 8.1 SEC 0 to 62 miles per hour, 39.2 mpg, 189 g/km. While that's only a 2 bhp improvement over the old Disco Td6, 0 to 62 miles per hour is 1.3 SEC faster and CO2 emissions are down from 203 g/km. 3.0-liter SI6 supercharged petrol V6 335 bhp, 332 pounds-foot, 7.1 SEC 0 to 62 miles per hour, 26.0 mpg, 256 g/km, not likely to be a massive UK seller, but JLR's supercharged 6 has plenty of character. All three engines are paired with an 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox with ratios so closely spaced the changes are said to be imperceptible. As with other JLR products, drive selection is via a rotary controller, with paddle shifters on the steering wheel. Multiple downshifts are allowed for additional performance. Will the new Disco still be comfortable, and will it still off-road? The outgoing Discovery's ride quality is legend, and Land Rover was keen to keep this asset while improving the driving behavior. To do this, it's paired wide-spaced double wishbone front suspension with an independent integral link rear setup. We'll obviously have to wait to judge the results. The standard air suspension ought to help, providing the ability to reduce ride height by 60 mm for easier loading, and raise it 75 mm for greater ground clearance. Which brings us to the Disco 5's off-road credentials. Regular ground clearance is 283 mm, the approach angle is 34 degrees, the departure angle is 30 degrees and breakover is 27.5 degrees. There's 500 mm of wheel articulation, and a 900 mm wading depth, that's 200 mm deeper than before. Boosting the full-time four-wheel drive system, which has a nominal 50/50 split that varies depending on the conditions, there's a 2-speed transfer box with synchromesh, meaning you can shift between high and low ratios at up to 37 miles per hour without stopping the car. The latest versions of Land Rover's all-terrain progress control and terrain response electronics are available, alongside hill descent control, gradient release control, releases the brake slowly when you're stopped on a hill, roll stability control and weight sensing, a kind of automotive sonar, displayed via the infotainment screen. How does the new Discovery 5 look? Like a giant Discovery Sport. Mostly. The much-loved two-box design of previous generations has been replaced by a far more rounded appearance that pays only token tribute to the past with its minimally stepped roof and heavily canted rear side pillar. The roof step still makes extra headroom for the rear row passengers, however, and as before, the Disco deploys stadium seating where each row is slightly higher than the one in front. The full 7-seater claim is backed by stats that suggest it will accommodate 95th percentile adults in even the rearmost row. There are 5 ISO fixed mounting points on SE trim and above, too, so if you're expecting quintuplets, this could be the premium lifestyle accessory for you. What was that about smartphone controlled seats? Land Rover calls it intelligent seat fold technology. In addition to being able to move the second and third rows around using a dedicated panel at the rear or via the central touch screen in the front, you can also control them with your smartphone or tablet. The idea is that you can activate the reconfiguration while you're still in the shop paying for the bulky item you need to get home. Whether this turns out to be a pointless gimmick or life-changing essential, it's certainly something for you to show off at the pub. All 3 rows of seats are available with heating, incidentally. But only the first and second rows get a cooling option, called climate seats, as well, while the massaging upgrade is only available for the driver and front passenger. Presumably the new Discovery is packed with lifestyle. Most certainly. Consider how Land Rover has chosen to present the 65% increase in cabin storage. For example, the hidden space in the center console is large enough for 4 iPads, while the center armrest can hold 5 iPad minis, or an optional chiller compartment. It's clear where the firm thinks its customers' priorities lie. Even the curry hook in the passenger footwell has been upgraded. It's now flush-fitting with a spring-loaded surround that clamps carrier bags in place to avoid spillage. The overall interior design is very clean, but also clearly Land Rover. There's a reduced button count, but the major controls remains easily accessible. There's no touchscreen climate controls here, rather straightforward dials complete with inset temperature displays, as per F-Type and Range Rover. The fixed panoramic roof is the largest Land Rover has ever fitted. Hi-Fi options go all the way up to an 825W Meridian bone shaker, and various grades of JLR's InControl infotainment system are offered. You can also get a waterproof activity key, in order to avoid dropping the expensive regular remote fob in the drink during that intense bout of windsurfing. How big's the boot and can I tow my gin palace? Boot boot space varies from 258 liters with all 7 seats in place to 2,406 liters with all but the front pair folded. UK cars get 7 seats as standard, though there is a 5-seater option. To help you manage the new 3.5-ton towing capacity, that's still probably more horsebox than Sunseeker, Land Rover has conjured up some extra towing tech. Advanced Tow Assist helps with reversing while the trailer is attached. You literally steer the trailer using the terrain response to rotary controller, while Trailer Light Test helps you check the lights are working. Obviously. Discovery 5 is also the first to get an electrically deployable tow bar, complete with industry-first nose load measurement to avoid overloading. Rear height adjustment allows you to raise or lower the car to match the trailer using the key fob or switches in the boot, and Hitch Assist guides you onto the trailer mounting point using the external cameras and central display screen. Trailer Stability Assist detects trailer sway on the move, and gently reduces your speed in order to bring it back under control. How safe is this big OL bus, then? Land Rover makes plenty of reference to semi-autonomous technology, but place the emphasis firmly on the semi. This ain't no E-Class, the only time it drives itself is during park assist maneuvers, or when it's correcting your exuberance through the autonomous emergency braking, which now includes pedestrian detection at last, and blind spot assist systems. Though you may not be amused to learn the intelligent speed limiter will prevent you from exceeding posted the limited unless you switch it off. Beyond this, the usual roster of modern safety tech is on offer, including adaptive cruise control, regular blind spot monitoring, traffic sign recognition, automatic lighting, lane departure warning and lane keep assist. There's no Euro NCAP score yet, but we're expecting a solid performance.